And I think that should take us live. Welcome to the stream this evening. I'm hoping you can all hear me. Just bear with me as I check to make sure everything is running as I expect it to be. Let me know down in the comments if you can hear what I'm saying, just to make sure I do have audio going through. I'm pretty sure I do. Cool. Well, we have a few topics that we're going to be discussing today. So we're going to have a quick chat about the U7 Pro Outdoor that was announced this week. And a lot of you are probably going to be saying, yeah, it got announced a little while ago, but they finally released it out into the US. So that's something that's just come about. I know I'm based out in the UK and the EU guys have had this for a little while, and we're going to talk about the two different models and what the differences are between them and why that might be. And we'll talk about a little bit about the UWC. So it's been 1 week already. Excuse me, that the Ubiquity World Conference has happened, and yeah, we're going to take we'll have another chat about that, about what we want to what we come to expect and what might be coming. We haven't seen anything out there that anybody has mentioned anything about, so yeah, we'll definitely have a quick chat about that and see yeah, what's going to come of that. And I think the other thing I did was rebuild my rack this week. So we'll have a little chat about that and see what's been put in there and what's been set up inside it. So let's jump straight in to start with. Let's have a quick look, just make sure everything is going as expected right here. Yeah, okay, fine. Let's jump straight into the computer then. Let's have a look at the computer screen. So we had two videos this week. Not quite sure how many actually it might be. So we'll have a quick look right now. So we have the alarm manager. I think, well, that was 7 days ago. So I don't know if I did that before the stream or after the stream. I'm not quite sure. Probably might have been just before the stream. So for those of you that are not sure on how Alarm Manager works within Unified Protect, or you want to understand how to get it set up and what's working, how to get things like the webhook working or any notifications that you're specifically looking for, and even how you trigger in certain zones. We go through what each of the things do within the Alarm Manager, so you can take a look at that if that's what you want to take a look at. And we have the RackRebuild video that I released 3 days ago. So I think that was on Thursday, actually. Yeah. So that came out on Thursday. So that showed you a lot about what was going on within my rack setup. So if you're interested about what I have set up on my Ubiquity setup at home, you can take a look at that video, and we'll talk a little bit about that in this video a little bit later. Sorry, just I'm just checking a couple of things as I have a few boxes flashing in front of me. So I'm just making sure it is working how I expect it to be working. So we'll jump into, I guess, the U7 Outdoor. So that was one that finally got announced in the US this week. The U7 Outdoor. It's $279, and we'll take a look at what it is. I will have a video coming on it this week, I would hope. It might not necessarily be, it's not going to be the US version, it is going to be the UK European version. So it's going to be without 6 gigahertz, but we'll talk about what that is and what it looks like and why you would buy it over the U7 Outdoor Pro. Hey Mike, so I haven't ordered the U7 Outdoor Pro. I have ordered the U7 Outdoor though. Yeah, I mean, I don't know whether you're based in the US, Canada, where you would have bought the 6 gigahertz version, or the 2.4 and 5 gigahertz version, which is available to the rest of the world. But yeah, I mean, the U7 Outdoor is still it still does a good job. It does have really good performance on it. I did a video on it quite a while back, I think. Maybe September time. We don't want to play any videos. Let's go to all my videos. I can't remember when. It was a little while ago for sure. There we go. So that was done 7 months ago. So I think that takes us around September time. So the U7 Outdoor is definitely a good one. I'm based in the US down in Texas. So yeah, I mean, you guys have the 6 gigahertz available to you. There are some YouTubers that have already done the 6 gigahertz review. Let's have a quick look. I'm sure you might have already seen them. I really cannot type today. U7, or any day for that matter, should I say. So Chris has done one over at Crosstalk. I'm not sure he did any tests. I think he was just talking about it. Yeah, I don't think he's done any, but he talks about the directional spectrum on there. And that's one thing we'll touch on a little bit later, which is the difference between the 2.45 and 6 gigahertz spectrums on them. Tab Geeks, he's done one. DPC has one. Oh, that's the U7. No, that is the U7 Pro Outdoor. Yeah, okay. So he did one a few months back when it got released out where we were. That is the U7 Outdoor. U7. Yeah, so I think there's only a few of them out there. I feel like Cody over at Mac Telecom's mentioned that he's going to be releasing one from his one on his soon, but I'm not 100% sure if he is, but I'm sure no doubt he will at some point. Andy mentions, so Andy said, I'm not get by Microsoft. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. I'm not sure why my comments are not coming through. So 1 second. I'm hoping. Can someone just pop something? There we go. Now we're getting the chats through. So if you haven't noticed, I am streaming across multiple platforms. So I have the YouTube Shorts and YouTube. So be sure both streams will be available. So if you want to tick on either or, you can go and do that, and you can join by whichever one you want. Let's have a quick look at some of the comments. So I'm just going to pop back because I think I've missed some of the comments. So I will, if I have missed your comment, just retype the question in, because the software that I'm using is updating as we speak, hopefully. Mark says, good evening, not getting your notifications on YouTube. So I don't know if that's because I went live on both of them straight away. So I don't know if that's because I literally went live on YouTube Shorts and I went live on YouTube normally as well. So I'm streaming to both. So I'm not sure if that's the reason you didn't get notification or what that might be. I'm not quite sure. But YouTube has been playing around with the notification settings recently. So it's come out in some of the YouTube updates that I think I saw a little while ago. So it might be worth having a little look at that and see why it might not be coming through. Looking forward to more Superlink stuff at the UWC. Yeah, we'll talk about the UWC a little bit later. But I think, yeah, a lot of people are looking forward to seeing the Superlink stuff, if there is anything there. I'm not quite sure what's going to be happening there at this point. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. So we'll chat about that in a little while anyway. Rebuild cool. I find the rebuilding mine from time to time therapeutic. Yeah, I mean, I've been putting it off for quite a long time, and some of the people will probably tell you that that is definitely the case. I've been putting this off for a fairly long time, and I think the time came where I had no choice. I needed to rebuild. I needed to get the new switches in, so I just went ahead and just did it. Let's scroll back up here. So, hey VJ. So the U7 Pro Outdoor hasn't got 6 gigahertz yet. So I was going to mention. Sorry, I'm just grabbing a bottle of water. Talking for, I guess, what will probably be an hour straight tends to do this to you. Well, to me anyway. I don't know if it happens to anyone else, but yeah, I mean the UK, basically the US and Canada version has 6 gigahertz, and the rest of the world doesn't. And that's purely, and I mentioned this in my video that I'm probably going to be releasing later this week, about the U7 Pro Outdoor, as it's your local regulatory body. So for us in the UK, it's Ofcom. And actually, if I take a quick look, 6 gigahertz outdoor. If you do a quick Google, I'm hoping you can see that. So they're looking to allow the upper limits of the 6 gigahertz bands, which is the AFC stuff. I think they were looking to do that by the end of 2025, if I'm not mistaken. But there's a whole bunch of stuff with Ofcom and them looking at 6 gigahertz, and I think it's currently in its consultancy period. So yeah, I mean, hopefully we'll have some good news, and at some point soon we'll be getting I guess we'll be allowed to use the 6 gigahertz in the UK outdoors. Currently it's only allowed indoors at this point, so yeah, who knows. I'm thinking of ordering one and moving the U7 Pro to the RV and the E7 into the camper now. In the camper now, and it. Yeah, I mean, it depends. It really depends. I mean, the outdoor one is. The U7 Pro Outdoor is a really good model, and when I was doing my testing, I think I was getting 500 to 600 megabits per second in terms of Wi-Fi speed. If you're not going the massive distances, and I think that was almost, I think I was getting 200 or 300 meg around 40 meters away. So that's still a reasonable good speed considering how far away you probably would be. So it depends the amount that you're going to be covering. The U7 Pro, I think I was getting maybe a little bit more, maybe 300, 400 megabits per second. But if you have that 6 gigahertz, you might get a slightly bigger throughput. But just keep in mind also 6 gigahertz doesn't go as far as your 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. So you might find you dropping off to the other bands as you go a little bit further. Looking forward to the new thermostats and smoke alarms. Yeah, I think there's a lot of questions around them at the moment, and hopefully they'll get answered as we go to, for anybody going to the UWC in this part of the world. Last week it was in Brazil and Mexico, so I don't actually know how many people have joined, but if anybody went last week to those, it'll be interesting to know. Obviously, they won't be able to tell us what they saw, but it'd be interesting to know if the Superlink stuff came about or anything was mentioned around that sort of stuff. Let's have a look. What else do we have? I think that's it at this point in terms of comments. So hopefully that's up to date on the comments, I would think. Again, if you're watching on YouTube Shorts and you want to go to the long form video, I am streaming on the long form as well. So just head across to my channel and you'll see the live videos just there. And I think we were talking about, I guess, the U7 Pro Outdoor. So I think the big thing around this, if we, this is a little bit too big, I think. I don't think it needs to be that big. So if we go to the U7 Outdoor, so we have the US and the non-US version. Unfortunately, they don't have the worldwide version on here, which is a little bit annoying. So I can't do a quick side-by-side comparison. But this is the US and the UK version. Sorry, this is the US version and the U7 Outdoor that's available to everybody. We have the 6 versus 4 spatial streams. In terms of coverage area, it's the same. You're allowed a little bit more in terms of clients. We have IPX6 rating, IP67 with the weatherproofing gland. And I actually have it right here, but that's the weatherproofing gland. So there's 6 screws on the back with a bit of rubber, and then you have your cable grommet that you can go through there to make it a little bit more watertight. So that's actually a really cool feature. So you have the option, if you are going to be exposing it to the elements quite drastically, then you can obviously add that in and make it IP67 rated. And this is where the 6 gigahertz, you can see that is 2x2, 2x2, and 2x2, and 2x2 and 2x2. But on the UK version, sorry, I'm shuffling because I have the access point down here behind me. The UK version has 4x4, and if we store.ui.com, and normally I keep all of this stuff ready, but yeah, we can go through this together, I guess. Wi-Fi and U7 Outdoor. Let's make that a little bit bigger. We go to technical, and we can see that we have the 4x4 on the 5 gigahertz, and it shows you the directional and omnidirectional, what's happening with them. So you have a little bit more throughput in terms of the data rate. So it can, that's the advantage of getting that. And the other thing I wanted to show you on this was the and I think I'm really bad at multitasking at this point when I'm trying to find something specific. So this was the spectrum or the radio patterns that we have on the US version. So we have the 6 gigahertz, which is directional, 5 gigahertz and 2.4, all 90 degrees. But if you have the two set up, so omnidirectional and directional, the 6 gigahertz is the only one working on directional. You don't get 6 gigahertz on omnidirectional. The U7 outdoor version, too many tabs. U7 outdoor version, we go to the installation guides and we can see just in here, the radio pattern is slightly different. So for those that are making the decision, and again, I'll highlight this in my video, I'm kind of giving you away my video all at this point. But so do make sure you do watch it when it does come about. But you can see the 5 gigahertz only has a 45-degree angle, whereas the 2.4 has the 90-degree. And if I quickly show you just on here, you can see this is the UK version of the U7 outdoor, and I'm hoping you'll be able to see that. But you have the full 90-degree pattern for the 2.4 and the 5 gigahertz. So that's definitely one advantage for the U7 Pro outdoor, is you have the full 90-degree range on the range on the directional antenna. Let's go have a quick look back here. So really enjoyed your rack build video. Yeah, I mean, it was good to put it together. I didn't know, to be fair, when I've not recorded something like this before, so I wasn't quite sure how it was going to turn out. But yeah, I'm quite pleased with the way it turned out. It turned out quite well. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4, 5A. How many should I buy? What are you looking to buy? Are you talking about the U7 outdoor, the U7 Pro outdoor? Or are you talking about something else about how many you should buy? Should I wire my stuff for best experience? I mean, definitely, if you talk to anybody in, I guess, networking, or anybody's going to tell you wired is best. Wi-Fi, obviously, you have multiple factors that can really change the outcome of what your connectivity is like. If you have any chance or anything that you need guaranteed bandwidth in it, you definitely want to go wired, because that will make your life a lot easier. Let's have a quick look. So back to, so this is what, so the 45-degree is the directional pattern of the U7 outdoor. So that was one of the differences that I saw between those two models. But there is a bit of a price difference between the two, so you can jump from one to the other. I think it's $199 for the U7 outdoor and $279 for the U7 Pro outdoor. So a big difference between there. So if you want that 6 gigahertz, then that's something you would want to look into. Next is the, I guess we'll have a little chat about the UWC. So anybody coming to London this week, so in a few days, I will be there. So do make sure you come and say hello. Do introduce yourselves as to who you are, because I'm sure all of you know what I look like, but I have no idea what you look like. But yeah, come over and say hello. And if you want to have a quick chat, I mean, feel free to have a quick chat. And then the 22nd of May is when it heads over to Berlin. So anybody in that part of the world, I was planning to go to Berlin, but it didn't quite work out, unfortunately, how I was planning to do it. So I'm probably going to have to pass that one this year. But I will say, hopefully, if they do come to North America, I should hopefully be heading over to that side, I would hope. So yeah, definitely, depending on when it is, I do hope to try and make it across there. So for anybody that's over there, hopefully we can meet up there. Let's go back to here. If I have 20 cameras, will Wi-Fi handle my server rack with hub? Are we talking 20 Wi-Fi cameras? I'm assuming you are, because you're talking about Wi-Fi. if it handles 20, will it handle my server rack with hub? So are you connecting directly to a UNVR, and are you trying to stream like the G6 instance, for example, or G4, G5 instance? Is that what you're looking to do? If you're trying to connect all 20 to one access point, it would be worth seeing what's happening to that access point. I can't say I've connected 20 cameras to a single access point, but I'd probably say it would probably be able to handle it, because each bit rate will be around about 4 to 5 megabits per second. So yeah, I mean, it should. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be able to handle it, but definitely something you might want to test. Looking forward to the UWC next week. Yeah. So Vijay, I mean, what are you looking forward to seeing the most? Are you looking to see what's coming, or just having a quick look at what's there, I guess? Yeah. So if you are looking to connect it to a Wi-Fi access point, I would probably do a bit of testing before you deploy something like that. So yeah, I'll probably do a bit of testing before you do something like that. And let's so there's a quick another question here. Let's have a quick look. Talk about captive portal networks. Is there a particular question you want to know about it, or just talk about it in general? I mean, captive portal networks, it depends what your use case is and what you're trying to do. I am planning a tutorial soon about how to get this set up and running. So if there is something specific you want to see in the tutorial, let me know. It is on my to-do list at some point, but there's a few other items that need recording first before I get to something like that. And also, I do want to get out my Network 2025 at some point. So Unify Network 2025. I would probably say that's maybe still a month away. I don't think that's going to be there anytime soon. But yeah, it's they're coming. And I did a video on the captive portal a long time ago. I think I'm talking maybe 2 or 3 years ago, if not longer. I think this was when I first started my YouTube channel. That's probably how old it is. Yeah, it's not even in the top list anymore. It was a long time ago, and it's well expired. Yeah, it was a very long time ago. And yeah, I don't think we need to see that. Basil mentions that he'll be going to the UWC as well. Yeah, so definitely, again, come and say hello. I'm sure I'll be around somewhere. Come and say hello. Let me know what you're looking to see. What you're looking forward to the most. Is there something you're looking out for in particular, or are you probably joining the bandwagon with everybody else and going to have a little look at the Superlink stuff? So I'm trying to automate the captive portal with a billing system. I'm trying to automate the captive portal with a billing system. So you're trying to use something external, right? I'm assuming. So they have. So there is obviously the billing systems that you can. There is things that you can use. I know a little while ago you used to be able to do PayPal. I've not used the portal in a very long time, the captive portal, so I can't say. I'm just going to quickly do this on the side, and let's see if I can find it. Yeah, so there is a payment system, and you can use. I mean, if I quickly show you this, it's not something I'm going to be setting up. So this is the hotspot portal that you can use, and you can set up a payment. So you've got Authorize, IP Pay, Merchant, PayPal, QuickPay, Stripe, and you can create a free trial for some of these, I think, by the looks of it. I've not set any. I remember setting this up in the sandbox in PayPal last time, and it was quite straightforward. But yeah, I've not done this for a little while. So this is something you could probably take a look at. You've got Radius server, vouchers, payment, password, or Facebook. Or you can use an external portal server if you want to integrate it with some sort of third-party system that doesn't play well with Unify Protect, with Unify and their hotspot portal. When is your birthday? September is my birthday. September 8th is my birthday, so still a little while away. It's not quite there yet, but yeah, I'm sure maybe if I get a chance, I might even do a stream on it as well. It'd be interesting to find out more about the Superlink and the 5G products. Yeah, I mean, I think it was MWC. They showed the 5G. I'm gonna have to try and find this now. Right, let me see if I can find this. Was it MWC 2025? I'm sure they had stuff there. Where is it? Update 2. I'm sure there was photos somewhere. Yeah, here we go. So this was at MWC, and I'm sure they had some stuff on here about the 5G stuff. I think there was a Dream Router 5G. If I can find it. I think this would be quite cool. If they come out with a set of speakers, it seems very... I don't think they would, because which ones are these? Yeah, okay. I get sidetracked. So there's a few Superlink items. So they have the entry sensor, the environmental sensor, and the sensor relay. So there's a few things that we've seen just there. And this is going to be all the way at the bottom, isn't it? So these are the mobile router stuff. There you go. There's the Dream Router 5G. And yeah, that looks like it's got a dual SIM card slot. So that was there. And that was the 5G link. So that's going to be interesting. There's the front of the Dream Router 5G, which looks quite nice, actually. It looks quite tall. Looks like the, I guess, the UC mesh, the U6 mesh, sorry. The little tin can kind of look one that they used to have, or they still have. So that's one that's going to be coming. Who knows when? Maybe they might tell us a little bit more when we go to the UWC. What do you think over MikroTik over Ubiquiti? I've not really touched MikroTik, to be honest. It's not something I've played around with at all. So I couldn't really comment on something like this because, yeah, I'm not sure what the difference is and where. I've seen some videos on it. So there's a few creators out there that have covered some stuff on it. The interface is obviously not as intuitive, but I don't think there are any other companies that really have an intuitive interface like Ubiquiti do. I think it would be useful as far as a captive portal to see how you could put information such as only use the network for these purposes and not require a login. Yeah, I'm not gonna dwell too much time on here, but I'm not sure how much text you can put in here. So we have the title, and then we have "Welcome to Unified Guest Hotspot." So I'm not sure how much stuff you can really type in here, but it looks like you might be able to put your disclaimers in here, and then the login button. So you might be able to do something like that there, where you can put that. Put the disclaimer in right at the start. Hello, is it a pain replacing to larger hard drives on the UNVR? So I'm guessing you have a UNVR and you're wanting to upgrade the hard drives in them. So I've not actually... Generally, when I set up the UNVRs, we go and spec out the drives to see what sort of recording time. So Ubiquiti have got some really good calculators on their website that'll give you a rough idea as to how much will be there. In terms of upgrading the drive, I've thought about trying it, but I don't know if it works if you replace all of them with a bigger drive, and anybody can comment if they have done this before. Is actually popping in a bigger drive and then slowly replacing them all with the bigger drives and see if it automatically expands. Might not be clever enough to do that because it's already set its storage pool inside, so it might not do it. But that's one thing I've thought about doing, but I'm not sure if it can be done. So if anybody's tried anything like that or can say to it, then they might be able to mention that for you. Ubiquity is great, but have you used Armada by TP-Link before? I have done some stuff on TP-Link before. So yeah, I mean, yeah, both of them. I have used both of the ecosystems before. No external antenna port is disappointing. I'm assuming you're talking about the 5G. Assuming you're talking about the 5G stuff. Yes and no. I mean, yeah, I guess you want to be able to put some stuff outdoor if you want the antenna. If you need the signal strength to be a little bit stronger, you could probably put that outdoor. Yeah, it is a bit disappointing, but I think it's a very niche use case as well. For a lot of people will keep it inside. The signal strength is generally strong enough to give you a decent amount of throughput indoor. If you're solely relying on 5G, then maybe you might want to have that output something outdoor. But who knows? I mean, that's something that they've shown us before. A very long time ago, they used to have the early access store where they used to make those final tweaks before they released the final version. So who knows? Maybe they might actually end up including an external antenna port in there, or there might be one hidden underneath. Who knows? Hey, Michael, have you used any Alta gear recently? I got their Route 10 a little while ago, but I haven't done much with their stuff since. So yeah, I think I did a video on that a little while back, but since then I've not really done too much. Hey Russell, how's it going? Yeah, I mean, welcome to the stream if you've not joined us before. Let's have a quick look just to make sure that I'm not missing anything. And I think yeah, so that was, I think we were then talking about the U7 Outdoor. We've spoken about the Ubiquity World Conference. So we've spoken about the differences between these two. And as I mentioned, there's a video coming later this week with them. And I did have one more thing that I was going to talk about, if I can find it. Let's have a quick look. Okay, let's just go to this one question before we jump into that. So, if you rotate a large capacity of drives in the UNVR, it will rebuild the RAID 1 by 1 at the end of the process, as long as the pool will resize and expand. So there you go. That kind of answers. Thank you, Andrew, for that. That's really helpful. So yeah. So if you do replace them one by one, let it rebuild each one at a time, and then it will expand the pool at the end. I did think it probably would, but I've never tested it before, so I wouldn't want to say for sure that would be the case. The last thing I was going to talk to you about is the RackRebuild I did, and I'm just opening some pictures in the background just so we can have a little look at what's going on. For those that didn't see this. And last picture. Right, there we go. So, if we move this across here. So, this was a sad state of affairs, I think is what I called it. This was what I had set up at the moment. So, there's a lot of wires. I did a lot of moving of stuff around and getting things tested and getting things set up, making sure it's working. I ran some new cables and just plugged them in. I didn't do any cable management on them. And I got to a point where I'm like, okay, I really need to sort this. So, by the end of it, I made it look a little bit nicer, a little bit cleaner. So it's all nicely, and I'll show you the close-ups here. There's a little bit of cable tidying to do on the side just here, maybe making a few holes so that closes a little bit nicer. And yeah, it was a little bit better. I have a PDU set up here which I'm waiting for Ubiquiti to release a UK version. I'm really hoping they do it at some point. So yeah, we don't need to use these strips, yeah, hopefully that'll be a bit better. In terms of, I guess, how it finished, if we make this a little bit, oh, we don't want to go that way. I want to go that way. So if we make this a little bit bigger, this is the setup I have at the moment. So the way I had this set up is I have a patch panel at the top. I have the USW Pro HD. So this is the 22 2.5 gigabit ports and two 10 gigabit ports at the end. And then there's four 10 gig SFP plus ports just there. I have the USW Pro XG. So these are all 10 gig ports along here. And yeah, there's the connectivity at the back just there with another patch panel. We have the aggregation switch, which is, yeah, which is connecting everything it does. That's quite annoying when Windows does this. And I have the AI key rack mount at the bottom. So this was a little bit annoying, the AI key rack mount, because I was kind of hoping, I guess it makes sense, but I was kind of hoping that the rack ears can be removed and I could just pop this into the toolless rack. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to. So I had to, yeah, I had to move some stuff around. I had my gateway up here. I've actually moved my gateway down to this one now, which is sat right there. So that's my UDM Pro Max. That's sat right there. I've got a couple of spaces because I'm hoping to get at some point the WAN switch and the toolless shelf where I can sit my machine on. So I'm hoping to get that at some point. I have a 24-port Pro Max down here, which I can either link to my test lab or I can link it to my main network, depending on where I want to set this up or what I want to do. So that's also one option I have. I do have an AI port just here. So yeah, that's connected and setting up. That's running with a Hikvision camera. And I also have my UNVR, not my UNVR, my UNAS Pro set down here, which I need to populate a few more drives in there that I've got. So I'm hoping to expand that out a little bit. So yeah, that was basically the two toolless racks that stack together. And on the side, I don't think I've got a picture of the side, but the toolless rack, the stacking, let me find it. So there's a stacking toolkit, stacking kit that you get, which is this, and it literally just sits on the side as it shows you there, and it just literally sits there and keeps the two pieces together. So there's not a lot of, it's quite simple and straightforward to do. It would have been good if they made this to be able to expand to actually go to a third one, but I'm sure there's some designs and weight considerations that the reason they might not have done it. So it's quite useful to have that. It got some really good reviews when I shared this online, but a lot of people are mixed with obviously the split rack and why I've gone down this route, but there's a few different reasons why I went down this route. One, the toolless racks got sent to me, and two, I need to obviously move the sockets where they are to get a bigger rack in there. So it's kind of a win-win for me. I got a new rack to set everything up, and I'm kind of holding out for Ubiquiti to ship their rack from the UK, because at the moment we can't order it where we are right here. Let's have a look. Hey Cyber Army, good evening. Welcome to the stream. Let's have a look. Are running any cameras using the AI port? So yeah, I am running one Hikvision camera using the AI port. That's at the moment. That's all I can do. Unless I use Ubiquiti cameras, then I can add more to it. But at this point right now, I'm just using the AI port on that one single camera. And that is a 4K camera. So there's a limitation for the AI port. Not a limitation. There's the restrictions on the AI port for a single ONVIF camera, but you can have up to 5 HD cameras, 3 2K cameras, and 2 4K cameras, I think, is what the restriction is. Yeah, or the limitation on the restriction on that product. Yeah. What else did we have? What else? Let's have a quick look. Yeah, I didn't think we were going to go the full hour this week because there hasn't really been a lot, to be honest. If I just check one thing quickly. Oh, actually, there is one thing I was going to show you. So I don't know if you've seen this on the community website before. I think I did tweet about it, but at the bottom they have a whole bunch of featured videos now. So it's not on their main website, it's on community.ui.com. So if you go inside here, you can see, if you go to view all, there's a whole bunch of videos that are, like, loads of different creators have done. And you'll see probably some of my videos in there. But yeah, there's a whole bunch in here. So for people that don't actually want to go and they just want to have a little look at the video, they're embedded in this website here. The other thing I was going to take a look at is some of the releases. I know they have just released. Have they released it yet? So they released 4.2.9 for the cloud keys, but they haven't released it for the rest of the, I guess, lineup. But I think that's coming soon, probably at some point. And there was, this is also a little thing that's popped up that's new. So organization manager, that looks to be something around, yeah, that looks to be something around identity and that sort of thing. So probably for larger businesses, this is going to be quite useful. So they're definitely making strides into the space of the enterprise world. So they're really pushing that way. I think that's probably all I was going to talk about this evening. So there isn't really too much more. Again, anybody coming up to the UWC, let me know. And yeah, do come and say hello. That'll be really good to meet some of you guys, I guess. Yeah, I think I'll give it a few more minutes. So if you have any more questions, let me know. If not, I think we're gonna wrap this one up for this evening. And then we'll be back again next week, hopefully with a little bit more to talk about. So we'll see what comes this week. If anything, we didn't have any product releases last week, but, well, we did. We had the U7 Outdoor Pro. But, yeah, who knows what's going to be coming around this week. If you pay for my flight tickets, then I'll be happy to. I wish I got my own train tickets paid for. For anybody that is traveling, obviously, into London from outside of London, you'll know traveling into London is not very cheap. That's for sure. Yeah, it's definitely not a cheap version of traveling in. So I wish I got my tickets paid for. That would have been quite useful as well. And yeah, Vasil, thanks for reminding me. The U7 LR, that is a big one I missed this week. So they released the U7 LR. It was a bit of it wasn't a normal Ubiquity launch, which is probably why it slipped my mind. It was it's more of a soft launch, I would probably call it. If I can find it, there we go. U7 long range. Let me bring this one up. So this is $159. This one, and it's another compact ceiling mount. So it's still I guess I'm surprised that they've released something with the older design. Maybe they don't need the newer design from a heat perspective. So they've gone with the older design. But yeah, this is 5 spatial streams in this. So not quite 4, not quite 6, not quite 8. So it's kind of in that middle ground. I am hoping also to get one of these at some point. So I'll bring a video on this once I do get one, if I do get one. 2.5 gigabit uplink, just like we've seen the light and the in-wall. We have Wi-Fi 7. Again, no 6 gigahertz in this one. But the 5 gigahertz is 3x3 in terms of MIMO, which gives you maybe not as big a throughput. I mean, 4.3 gigabits per second, and 2x2 MIMO on the 2.4 gigahertz. So yeah, I guess it's an interesting choice, this one, but it kind of sits, I guess, between that U7 Lite and the U7 Pro range. So it's that middle ground that they're trying to fill in. There's not probably too much difference between, I mean, in terms of pricing, what we're looking at. U7 Lite is $99. The long range is $159, and then the Pro is $189. So yeah, it does definitely sit kind of in between that. From Germany, they're also expensive. I'm sure I'm sure they definitely are. But yeah, I think that's probably let's have a quick look. But you'll be holding a review when you get there anyway. When I get to the UWC you're talking about? If that's the case, I think just like everybody else, we're not allowed to talk about it or anything that's going on. So I will try and be tweeting throughout the day about anything that I can say, which will be probably not a lot, but yeah, I'll try and post some pictures, and I'll hopefully do a follow-up video as well. Again, there probably won't be a lot of information in there as to what I can tell you, but yeah, I'll hopefully do a follow-up video. So Ubiquiti, I don't know if you've ever been to any UWCs, but Ubiquiti do generally tell you not to take photos and videos, which is probably why you've not seen anything come out of Mexico or Brazil this year, purely because, yeah, they tend to keep everything under wraps as to what's coming. That's how they did it last year, but there was a massive leak last year about what was coming, and yeah, that's what was happening, and I mean, it's their decision, it's what they want to do. I'll probably be able to video just outside it, but once I step into the hall, I think it's all phones and cameras are off, basically. And I think that is all I was going to cover. I think I've said that about 3 times now. But we're coming up to 50 minutes, so it's been a reasonable stream. Do you have any idea whether something new might be introduced? I hope so. So generally at the UWC, they kind of tell you what to expect in the coming year. 6 months. I don't know how long the time frame is, but they sort of show you some of the new products that are going to be coming, what the software roadmap looks like, and so you get more of an understanding about what's happening. I think, they kind of give you that heads up as to what's coming. So even as us as creators, we do get told stuff obviously before some of the stuff does come out and it goes out to the general public, but sometimes it can be a week, sometimes it can be less than a week, sometimes it can even be the same day, a few days. So it really depends. I mean, this will give us a really good idea as to a longer horizon as to what's coming. So that's going to be really good to know. I still have... I still have 3 free places on my rack. So it depends what you want to fill it with, I guess. You can fill it up quite quickly with a current product lineup, but I guess you want to add in some new stuff. Watch this space. Let's see what comes. I'll know more on Tuesday evening. Let's just say that, as to what's going to be coming and when. What's going to be coming, not necessarily when. And yeah, definitely good to attend in terms of an investor point of view. I mean, if we look, I don't know if a lot of people tend to follow this sort of stuff, but if you look at Ubiquiti stock holding as a company, in the past year, they've definitely made some strides. But if we look at the 5-year timeline as well, they have also been quite volatile. I think, they've also been quite volatile in some instances as well, dropping down all the way to $106. Whoever got in around 3rd of November 2023 is... Right, not sure what happened there. Where did that window go? It's a good thing there wasn't anything that wasn't supposed to be open. I don't know where that window's gone. Oh, man. Right. Let me fix this. It's like completely disappeared. Let's try again. Okay, so it's hidden in the top corner somewhere where I can't get to. So if we just go to your stock. Yeah, so whoever got in around obviously that sort of range, and obviously looking at the long timeline horizon, we had the time around COVID where they dropped completely down to like $15 a share. So definitely those that got in around there are definitely going to be laughing. So obviously depending on how much they invested at that point as well. So they have been making strides in the market in terms of that. So yeah, it's definitely good to see what's coming, and making sure you are making your right investment choices within your companies. Right, I think I'm going to call it right there. And I hope you all enjoy the rest of your Sunday, whether it's morning, evening, or afternoon. And yeah, I'll see you the same time next week.